Which direction is North Carolina going in the presidential election? Well, since early voting has started, we may be seeing evidence as to what direction this election is going to take us. And who will that president potentially be? Well, let's look at that evidence and we'll see. You make the decision. Well, North Carolina has started early voting, and we only have 3 days left. We have Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Which direction is North Carolina going in? Because early voting has started, we're starting to see some evidence of who's voting: Republicans, Democrats, and unaffiliated. But what I want to do is turn, first of all, to the Carolina Journal. They released an article on the 30th, which is today. And notice what the title of this article says: more than 3 million ballots cast in North Carolina's early voting. They're about, and they're going to tell us here, they're about over 7 million people registered, over 7 million. But notice more than 3 million ballots, or approximately 40% of registered voters, have cast their ballot during early voting as of Tuesday in North Carolina. And North Carolina has about 7.8 million registered voters, of which 3.2 million have already voted, have already cast their vote. And then they start breaking down some information. But here it is. Here's the important part right here. It says, further, it says the turnout deficit, and they've been talking about the deficit prior to this article, and it talks about the turnout deficit is totally on the Democratic side. They are behind their turnout at the same point in 2020 by about 328,000, said Jackson. Republicans and unaffiliated turnout are both about 14,000 higher compared to 2020. He says, we knew that Democrats were going to struggle to match their 2020 numbers because Democratic registrations have declined by 185,000 since then. But that does not account for all of their turnout decline. Now, the key is the Democrats, their numbers are down. The key is going to be you've got good Republican turnout, but you also have the unaffiliated voter turnout. And apparently they're pretty strong as well. So the question is, which direction are they breaking? Are they breaking Republican? Are they breaking Democrat? Which way are they voting? Well, it's interesting. We saw an article here. There was an article or a post that was put out by Elon Musk on his X post on his X platform. And notice it's hard to see this, but I'm going to read it to you. He says, he posted, I think it was today. He says the Republican lead in North Carolina almost doubled from yesterday. Rumor has it that Kamala's campaign is shifting resources to shore up Virginia, which means they're worried about losing Virginia. So apparently, there was word that was getting out that there were ads that were supposed to be bought in the North Carolina markets, and now that money has been taken out and going to be used, rumor says, in Virginia, because apparently Virginia is too tight for them to be comfortable with. So now we look to another article by the Carolina Journal, and notice this is the affirmation of what Elon Musk had said. It says the Harris campaign cuts ad buys in North Carolina. Notice it says, according to ad tracking from Ad Impact, the Harris-Walz presidential campaign has changed much of its remaining ad spending in North Carolina in the last week of the election, pulling millions of dollars worth of ads from the major North Carolina media networks. And from Ad Impact Politics, it says yesterday, the Kamala Harris campaign placed new North Carolina poll, hashtag North Carolina poll, ad reservations totaling 2.7 million for the final week of the election. This morning, the campaign is cutting from those North Carolina reservations. So far today, we've seen over $2 million removed from these North Carolina markets. This comes as days scheduled. She's scheduled to be in Raleigh, North Carolina, the biggest market that supports her, apparently, according to this article, in the state. But it goes on here, and you see that this Chris LaCivita, he says, Kamala Harris giving up on North Carolina, pulling money out, maybe to drop in Virginia to try to stop the slide. And here we have the media buying and analytics is revising her broadcast. And so you can see here for the contest for U.S. president, so far we've seen $1.7 million removed from the Charlotte, Greensboro, Greenville, Newbern, Norfolk, Raleigh, and Wilmington markets. And you can see the dollar amount that has been removed from the North Carolina markets. So we're deep into early voting. We are seeing evidence that Republican turnout, strong Democrat turnout is not as good. In fact, notice what I think is Andy Jackson said. He said at Vote Tracker, over 3 million votes have been cast in the November the 5th election, including 3,676 yesterday. Turnout by registration compared by the same point in 2020, the Democrats are minus or negative 341,000, Republicans up 9,000, and the unaffiliated, it looks like they're down by 8,000 as well. But the question is, are these signs, are these signals that we're beginning to see from the early voting? Are they seeing something from these early votes that's telling them that the election is going to go one way or the other? Well, it may appear that way. But if you've not voted, let me encourage you to get out and vote. You need to make sure that you are voting not for the same thing that we had these past 4 years, high inflation costs. You're looking at gas, your energy prices, your grocery prices. Look at the instant and other prices. Other your taxes have increased. Look at your also look at the stability of the world. You know, when Donald Trump really was in office, the world was at basically peace compared to where we are today. Now you have Israel with Iran and the Palestinians. Now you have Russia and Ukraine. Now you have China and Taiwan, and the conflicts just taking place on the globe. And there's no need for that. It can be stopped. So let me encourage you as you vote, vote with a mindset of what is actually taking place, and be responsible in voting. And so I just hope that this will be helpful in helping you to see maybe the winds of a direction. It's becoming more clear. It may not be. I don't know. It just depends on which way the unaffiliated are breaking. It looks like the Democrats are not where they were in 2020. And it looks like by her pulling out those dollar amounts, those ad buys in North Carolina, either she's saying she's got North Carolina or she's saying, I've got to short Virginia because I don't think I've got North Carolina. We'll see how this unfolds. But the main thing is go vote. My name is Keith. This is Alamance County Talks Politics. And until next time, take care.